What's up, guys? It's your boy Blaze J back in for another video, and today it's a should you summon. Should you summon for the new season 3 characters coming out soon on Global Black Clover Mobile. And the season 3 units are these three right here, as you can see. Clover Academy characters. So let's start off with the best one, Charlotte. Um, Charlotte is a blue character, blue support. She is probably makes this a must summon because she's fantastic. If you have her max dupe, she's the fastest character in the game, and that just is already good. Especially, and she's blue, and the team that Global is using right now is mono blue. So yeah, she's fantastic. I'll go over her skills right now. So her skill 1 is a counterattack. Basically, she uses it and gives a counterattack with the highest to the ally with the highest attack. Skill 2 is just grant all allies 40% increase all attack. But if you have her skill page, it gives total defense, which total defense is absolute cracked. If you don't know what it means all damage is received. All damage received is counted as blocked, basically. And then we have her ult here. Counter gives everyone a counter. And if you max it out, it's 100% counter. Her combo skill is applies buff to all allies, applies 12% fortified to all allies, which is damage reduction. And her passive was this unique passive, or which one is it? I think it's this one. Gains 1 skill point when attacked. So every time she gets a hit, she gets 1 skill. So it's pretty cracked because if you hit her, there's a good amount of AOE units, especially against Noelle. And then her normal passive, that's when she's duped out, right? When her or LR passive, when all allies belong to the technique type or blue, inflict silence for 1 turn on the enemy at the start of battle. So they can't use a skill 2 at the start of battle, which is really good. Now, the reason why this team is so good is because if you have her plus Mars plus Lotus, and you can put Julius in there, she's really tanky. She's gonna go first. You can apply that counter first, and if you go against, like, even if the only way to outspeed her if you use Finner out and Lotus, or Finner out and Voltos, and if she goes first, you can either put her a counter attack, right? You can put a counter attack and then do some counters with your team, which it adds up. Even though it's like you have some characters that aren't or like really defensive built, it adds up because just everyone hitting each other. And if you have her max dupe, it's for 2 turns the counter, so it's up for 2 turns. And this skill 2, the way you can build your team, which like is optimal, is if you have in your talent where your attack gets blocked, you get debuff immunity. And if you have the other talent on your defensive or on your defensive side where you're under 35% HP, you get debuff immunity. If you have this and then pairing with Mars, you're just gonna have debuff immunity for the whole time. Lotuses, any debuffer is just gonna be useless against mono blue. And then you have Charmy. If you want to add Charmy in there, like, you don't even need those to bring. Like, you can bring Mars, Julius, Charmy, and her, and dude, that team is gonna cook. But that's why she's so good. She's the fastest in the game. She got all of this. She makes mono blue like optimal. Now, enough with her. She makes the whole thing must summon. If you don't summon, you can just coin her, but she will be a little bit worse because she everyone's a little bit worse when you don't have max dupe. There's some characters that you can tell a difference. You can tell a difference with her when she's max duped, having that speed, having the 2 turn counter. Fantastic unit. Now we have Jack. I've talked about him in my last video, but he is pretty much a character. Like, he's alright, nothing special. So his first skill, he inflicts bleed, and when if they have bleed, a 50% chance to stun. It doesn't apply like first try, like you have to have them bleed already. So second skill, now it applies a miscalculation stack. I'll explain miscalculation in a minute. Increase penetration and increase accuracy. Then his ultimate. So this is his ultimate. Hold up, let me show so it says right here, perform additional attack per miscalculation attack or person miscalculate on him, dealing additional 80% attack of magic attack to the random enemy. So it's random. It's not even the same character you attacked. And then inflict stun. And if you have a skill page, if miscalculated was triggered 3 times in the same turn, the last trigger will benefit from a 500% increased damage buff. So he needs a skill page, and you need 3 miscalculated buffs on you. So it's not gonna be a turn one thing. It's like kind of like Kiyato, kind of like how he's built. Skill 2, Dispel Barrier, performs an additional attack dealing damage equal to 30% of your attack or magic attack. Those are his skills. You think he seems alright, but honestly, it's gonna take you a while because he only gets miscalculated from his skill 2, and his skill 2 takes a minute unless you have him duped, which I'll get to in right now. So his unique passive is when attack grants self 20% increased stamina or mobility, saying global. And his dupe passive is applies 1 stack of miscalculation to self at the start of battle. So you want him with dupes, you want his skill page, you just need him built, or you just need a lot for him to be good. Compared to Charlotte, I mean, you do want Charlotte to have like max dupe, but Charlotte, if you have a 1 dupe, she can still work on a mono blue. She can still provide that. If you have her skill page, which if you do get lucky, get that debuff block, or not debuff block, attack block for her. For Jack, you need so much. You need him to have passive, you need a skill page. For her, you can, this counter is pretty helpful. This attack buff is pretty helpful. Giving that counter is helpful. And the mono blue silence is helpful at times. Prevent Julius from having doing the skill 2 right off the bat. But this damage reduction is also, again, Jack just needs so much. And honestly, you have all that for Jack and it's not even worth it. Which, if you have all this, like everything for Charlotte, like you just need your skill page, right? And she's already meta. You don't even need dupes unless you're like high 2 PvP. For Jack, you need so much just to even compete, which I don't like it. Now, last character for video is FUEGOLEON. FUEGOLEON is a really good character. I do enjoy using FUEGOLEON. So his first skill inflicts burn for 2 turns on a single enemy. His second skill, if I can find it, inflicts burn for 2 turns on 1 enemy, but he also dispels barrier, which is pretty good. Removing barrier is always good. And then if you have a skill page, he inflicts burn on a random enemy dealing continuous damage. So if you use it, you inflict the burn, you can also inflict burn on someone else. Now his ultimate is where he's godly. So it's a pretty long ult. So based on the number of burn stacks affected to the target, inflicts increased damage taken debuff on him before attacking. So if the enemy has 1 burn, 20% increase, 2 burns, 75% increase, and then 3 burns, 220% increase. Now this may not be good right now for global, but in the future, the burn meta, he's gonna be fantastic. And let's see this. He also removes barrier. This is an AoE, by the way. Removes barrier on the whole team, which is amazing. Just using him for that, just to get rid of the annoying Noel and what's his name, Radis, is already good. So his ult is already fantastic. His combined skill is just increased damage if the enemy has damage over time. His dupe passive is deals 5% increased damage per burn stack on the enemy, and he just has immortality, which is good because he is pretty squishy, but having immortality just makes him so good. So even if you die, and then they just build up, you could just remove that berry and your team can go to work, right? So he's honestly really good, and he's probably the second best unit on this banner. I do like him way more than Jack. Jack is pretty much because you don't really need this dupe passive. His skill page you don't really need either, but his skill page, um, which is good, it does a lot of damage if you're running the burn meta team. Because I said before, his in the last video I think I said, so there's a, if you have it max duped, it's a 100% chance when attacking to gain a 25% increased damage per burn affecting enemy. Level 1 is only 10% chance, which, you know, it's not really good. So it is dupe reliant, but the thing it gives you, the extra thing it gives you, isn't really worth it. So it's a really dupe reliant skill page. Now let me look for Charlotte's skill page. I forgot the name of it, but you know, I could just look through my account, right here. Yeah, I can just translate it through here, or we can, I found Jax, we can read Jax. So Jax here, it says when attacking there's a 35% chance, or when attacking there's a 35% chance to apply a buff that increases the amount of damage dealt by 20% before attacking. So 35% chance, you know, it becomes 100, you know, another dupe reliant ult, or dupe reliant page. And for Charlotte is that when attack there's a 20% chance that the SP increases by 1. So this is okay because she already gets this, like she already gets this whole thing on her passive. So if you max it out, it's 2%, like she gets 2 when you, if you max it out. So you honestly don't need hers. I mean, you want hers. Hers is the best one without like the dupes, right? I would say yours is just, no, his percentage chance is lower than Jax. Jax is probably a little bit better than his, especially now because there's no burn meta right now. But as soon as the burn meta his becomes way better. But honestly, should you summon, guys? Should you summon on this banner coming to global with those 3 units? I'd say yes, because Julius is already out, and the next banner is just, ooh, I don't know. Actually, no. Wales should summon. I mean, they're gonna summon regardless. But if you're free to play, just coin Charlotte and you're good. Honestly, if you're really struggling against barrier teams, you know, maybe do a few pulls on the banner, try to get Fuego. But honestly, Jack is just a throwaway. He's not really that good. I don't really like him, but he could do something in PvE and PvP. Not really good. And Charlotte, of course, if you max her out, she's godly. But the next banners we're getting, like, we're gonna get this Noelle and this Charmy. The Charmy's gonna be good for the burn meta. So if you want Charmy, if you're gonna run the burn meta, summon on Fuego. If not, you know, save for her and save for this unit, because she can run well with Charlotte. And there's gonna be a green meta too with this Charlotte plus that Fauna. So it depends what you really want to save for, but honestly, go for her in the hall and the Gateway of Destiny, or whatever it's called. I forgot the name. But yeah, free to plays, do a few summons like 5 multis, because you just keep the Spirit Veto anyways, which is gonna be the next unit. And then the next banner, I don't know what they're gonna do with Yuno and Vanessa. They'll probably just add them in the standard, or probably put them in a free event. But we'll see. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on the next one. If you have any questions, I forgot to say, leave in the comments down below. And yeah, take care, guys.